Hi, Internet. I have horrible audio. Welcome to my channel, Udo ADHD, where I talk about whatever I want. If you vibe, subscribe. And if you're new, leave a comment so we can welcome you into the tribe. Okay, we're gonna Udo, rocking everywhere. Right now, I am about to go to bed. But I wanted to talk about this video I saw on this channel called Sethi Suarez. This woman is like anti MLM. If you don't know what MLM is, it's anything like pyramid scheme, Herbalife, Amway, and specifically, what we're going to talk about today is Monat. Monat. I don't know how people are pronouncing it different ways. I'm very intimate about MLMs. I know how they work. I know the culture of them. I'm very familiar. And I really wanted to react to this video because there's this Netflix show hosted by this guy that I've been following for a long time named Ramit Sethi. I found out about Ramit Sethi because he had this book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. This is still his friend, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. And then he was like BFFs with Marie Forleo. I used to be obsessed with Marie Forleo, okay? You probably don't know who she is. But I mean, she's very successful in her own right. She's like an internet marketer. She was one of the first women to really capitalize off of online marketing with email lists and that kind of stuff. Web 2.0 type of stuff. Now we're more in Web 3.0. But so that's how I found out about Ramit Sethi, and I always respected him because when it comes to online marketers, these people usually have very scammy websites. You ever click an ad and it's like yellow highlighted text and it's like really long web page? You scroll down and it's like buy now. You only have 10 more minutes until the sale is over and the countdown is on the top and you gotta buy, and then if you do buy, it's like bundle your purchase now or lose this offer, and it's just very scammy, right? And I respected Ramit because he didn't have all that scam stuff on his web pages, and he would do live streams and people would be like, I don't have any money, maybe should I put it on a credit card? And he actually said, if you are buying my product on a credit card, we will give you an immediate refund. So I'm like, this guy's the real deal. And I'm glad that he's still, doing his thing. He even has a Netflix show. Now, he is helping people on this Netflix show get their money situation together. And he gets this lady who is in the MLM called Monat's Money, whatever. All I know about this company, Monat, I'm calling it Monat. That's what I'm seeing. Monat. All I know about this company is that there's like a lawsuit. I heard that people who use it, their hair is falling out. How unfortunate. But I also know this is an MLM, and I can see by the behaviors of the reps that it very much has the typical MLM culture. I wanted to dive into Sethi Suarez's video. She's giving commentary, but I just want to give extra commentary from the perspective of somebody who was very deep in MLM and had friends that were very deep in MLM, and the psychology of an MLM is very interesting. It very much resembles like the psychology of a cult. It very much resembles that. It's very cult-ish, cult-like. So anyway, let's look.
All right, fine. I'll do a reaction to the Netflix show How to Get Rich.
Now, mind you, I I'm subscribed to this lady, but I don't watch her a lot. She used to be very, very mean. She had a very mean perspective about these people who are in MLMs. And I don't know, it was just too much for me. It was just I don't know, when somebody's just kind of over the top with the meanness and you're just nitpicking every little dumb thing. mm, and she actually made a video where she said that she's taken that feedback and she's trying to calm down. So I resubscribed to her. But this is very interesting. So let's just jump into um, the actual show.
It's crazy that it's taken a TV show for me to find out that we lost $80,000.
We were gonna purchase another property, and we were gonna have to put like 200,000 down. So just thinking about that number, we were like, we could have put that towards something.
They were gonna buy a property for 200,000 down? Huh? That just sounds insane. I don't know. That sounds crazy.
Significant.
You never like really asked like, oh, how are the investments
I
going?
should have asked though, because you're actually usually like really open with
And I've
like
been
what you're doing.
quiet.
And you've been quiet. I should have known.
So we meet Millie and Christian, and we are just off to a super great start, as you can tell by the host of the show just sitting there like, what? So the husband, I think his name's Christian. We're just gonna call him Christian because I feel like that is better than whatever his name actually is, or that is actually his name. Am I gonna check? Nope, I'm not. I don't care. Has gotten into some investing, some gambling, it seems like. Don't get me wrong. I do like the stonks.
I don't know anything about the husband and what his investments are or if he's gambling or anything like that. But I find it interesting that they don't talk to each other about their finances. And I think when we get deeper into the video and you start to see how her MLM business is doing, I think it's kind of a pattern. There's a reason why they don't talk about their finances. And I think they each might feel embarrassed at the performance of their individual financial endeavors, which leads to them not talking about their finances. And even the wife admits that she did not even want to ask.
Find it, but it's mostly luck and something that you don't really have control over, and really see can be. I think that is kind of like something that's super common in the multi-level marketing industry as well. Hiding things from your spouse, not showing them truly like the numbers, how much you're
Right, yeah, that is super common in the MLM space. Hiding the true financials, hiding what's actually going on. And it's just interesting to me that it's the wife that's in the MLM, it's the husband who's doing investments or whatever. I don't know if she's calling it gambling because investing is technically a gamble, but anyway. He may feel embarrassed about his investment in performance, and she's embarrassed by her MLM performance. So it's like, let's not talk about that, honey. Anyway, I want to get back into the actual footage.
I've been working through that in therapy as well. Some people think it's weird that like I'll talk openly about like the analytical side of the money aspect of my first person and
talk about it.
addiction. And
I mean, sorry. It's a 40-minute video, so I'm skipping a lot of what she's saying because I want most of my commentary to be on this couple and what they're experiencing as a couple in an MLM.
not that great decisions.
Well, it's easy to talk about it when things are up.
Uh-huh.
I think we've just learned that when things go down, sometimes people get quiet about it. Yeah. Okay. These gains
Okay, yeah, right. When things go down, don't want to talk about it.
are not sustainable.
What Christian doesn't realize is that he's made money because of luck, not because of skill. And as they say, when the tide goes out, you're going to see who is swimming.
This is a really bad situation for both the couples because if he got a stroke of luck with investments and he made a lot of money this at one point, the MLM is the same way. You just have to you have to put in more work and effort, but it's still a luck thing. When you catch a lick when you're in an MLM and you make a lot of money, because you put a lot of work in, you feel like you made that money because of your work, which you did, but also you had a lot of luck at that time. And so you have both partners in this marriage who at one time made a lot of money in their endeavor thanks to luck, and now it's back to normal, and they're embarrassed by their efforts. They think they're not doing enough, and they don't want to talk about their finances anymore because the luck is gone.
Being naked. What are your goals? What's your rich life?
So my main goal, my whole life since I was a kid, is to retire my mother. My parents are immigrants, so I'm a first generation American.
Where'd they move here from?
Colombia,
Okay.
late 80s. So they didn't know the language. They were thinking of their kids. They weren't thinking about themselves when they made this move, right? So there's nothing better than being able to retire my mother.
That's pretty amazing.
I just want to build an empire. I want to be able to help his mom. We'd be able to help my parents. We'd build something for our future kids. That's what I want.
Where did you get this from?
When I started my network marketing business, they're very big
So,
on like mindset. That's
let me
where it all
say,
started. Like,
let me say that when you join an MLM, those are the very typical dreams that they sell you. Retire your parents, create generational wealth, set up funds for your kids. This is very much what they talk about every time. I guarantee you, I'm sure you have a friend in an MLM somewhere, okay? Go on Facebook, you'll find a friend in an MLM. Tell them that you want to go to a meeting. I promise you, guarantee, the speaker at the meeting is going to say, don't you want to retire your parents? Don't you want to build generational wealth? Are you doing that at your job? No. You got to join us. This is how they sell the dream. And let's be honest, let's be real. Most people are not actually thinking about retiring their parents. I know, like, nobody ever wants to say that. Nobody wants to say, like, if someone asks you, do you want to retire your mom? You're not going to say no. But is that at the forefront of your mind? Is that what's driving you? No. Most people, the answer is no. There's a few people that the answer is yes. Okay. But for most people, that's something that will never happen in their head. They think it will never happen, or it's nice if it happens, or, that's something I'm working towards, but it's not a priority. It's not my driving force. But when you go to these MLM environments, nobody's going to do that. And this is what they do. They say, they try to sell you the dream, and they try to say, man, you stopped dreaming. So to address the fact that most people are not actually thinking about retiring their parents, they tell you you've stopped dreaming. It's time to dream again. Bring out those dreams. And so retiring your parents is one of those dreams that you're bringing back to the forefront that you have forgotten about because you just didn't have the right mindset. So this is very typical. And Ramit, Sethi, I really appreciate Ramit's approach. You'll see as we watch the video, he is non-confrontational. He's not going to say, come on, y'all, are you really trying to retire your mom? Like, what's your actual current goals? Okay, right? He's not going to say that, but I think it's something interesting to note that the goals that they're saying are just regurgitations of dream selling. What would sound more realistic to me personally if they said, like, whatever this property that they were going to buy for $200,000, That sounds like something that was maybe a driving force for them. We want a new house. We want a new property. You know, like whatever. Like that would have sounded more realistic to me. But the fact that their dreams, and it even wrote on the screen, you know, the goals, it was just so stereotypical MLM when, you know, one of the first things they told us is that they wanted to buy a property. So the fact they didn't even put that goal in there, you know? It's a typical MLM thing.
Just growing my mind and thinking more abundantly. Like I never even knew what that word meant.
Can you feel it?
So law of attraction, manifestation, positive mindset, positive thinking, building your mindset. This is an MLM manipulation tactic. It's this idea. I'm not going to get too political. To me, it very much is a pipeline into a particular political party. Okay, if you know, you know. I'm not gonna, because this video is gonna get really long. Okay, it's gonna be like a 2-hour thing. I'm not gonna dive too deep into that, but they want you to have this mindset that your reality is of your own creation. Which, okay, for all of y'all who are toking it up, or you're like a very philosophical, let's not go there. Let's kind of keep our head on the ground. Like, in a way, you can say your reality is of your own mind. Like, let's, you know, we don't need to get all metaphysical. But, like, in our day-to-day life, reality is not all of your creation, right? Like, you're following the traffic rules and somebody just rear ends you while you're driving. You didn't actually manifest that. You did not bring that into fruition. You have no control over it. What these mindset things and abundance thinking and manifestation thinking does is you are reading these books and listening to these affirmations to brainwash yourself. Yes, literally, that's the whole point of affirmations, to positively brainwash yourself, right? Because in a way, every day of your life, you are negatively brainwashing yourself. You have a lot of negative thoughts. There's a lot of negativity on social media, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, like, positively brainwashing yourself is, you know, that's a cool idea. But with this manifestation abundance mindset thing that they push on you in MLM, it is to brainwash you into believing that you have full control over your life, which you don't. Okay, you actually don't. You don't actually control everything in your life. We want to, as human, it's a natural desire as human beings. We desire to have control, and it's natural to try to delude yourself into thinking you have control. This is a normal part of the human psychology. But when you calm down, when you like remove the motivational speak from your mind and just look at things as they are, you don't actually have control. But the MLM company wants you to feel like you do, so that you feel like you have control in your business. And remember earlier I said that the business actually is based on luck. You are working really hard to try to get opportunities to be lucky, but it's still luck. The company doesn't want you to believe that. They want you to believe that it's all 100% you, that you manifested it, even to the point that not just hard work, but even your thoughts help to manifest your level of success or failure. And you will see at the end of this video how it has started working in her mind to where she starts to blame herself for her failure.
Can you feel my headache starting? Because you should. That's not technically correct. The verbiage that is being used is when I started my network marketing business. Oh, so you started a multi-level marketing company? No, you didn't. You joined a team. You're a salesperson. Nothing wrong with being a salesperson. I love sales. Done it for years, but
I also want to mention, I mean, she's right, right? Like, this woman did not start an actual network marketing company. She just joined a company. But the lady said she wants to build an empire. That's another MLM speak thing. I feel like this video is gonna actually be 2 hours, I wanted to just do this real quick before going to bed, but I feel like there's so much I just want to release and let out. That is MLM speak. When she says she wants to build an empire, she just means she wants to have a really big downline. It means she wants to have a lot of people who signed up under her. She's not talking about actually owning her own company. She's not talking about actually being at the top of the pyramid by starting her own network marketing company. She's not talking about like an actual empire. She's literally just talking about having the biggest team in Monat, which she won't have. Look, I'm not trying to bring negativity into her life. It's just that's the way it is with these companies. You get in at the beginning, at the very beginning, or you have connections with people who were in the beginning and you network your way in. But this woman, she doesn't have that. Okay, she doesn't have that, so she's never going to have the biggest team. It's just not going to happen unless somehow she got in good with the owners of Monat or the tippy top people at Monat, and she struck a deal with them. When I say strike a deal, what I mean is this: in these MLM companies, in every MLM company, I do not care what company, I do not care what industry, all of them do this thing where they negotiate and do trade deals. Oh, we can put this person with 1,000 recruits under you if you do this. They do this tit for tat thing. They strike deals. They artificially build an empire in their hierarchies. It's artificial. This woman doesn't appear to know that. She's still thinking that people build their empires of having lots of people in their downline. She's still thinking they did it through just working hard and a positive mindset. And that's not how they did it. They did it by striking deals with each other. And keeping that in circle of people who can do that really small.
Girl, stop. Yeah, who wouldn't love to have $1 billion? Who wouldn't love to? Is it crazy empire? Like,
prior to
happen? There's zero chance of that ever happening. It's not an empire.
Yeah.
prior to, you know.
I'm surprised that you're in network marketing. So tell me about the business.
Wait,
Yes.
why were you surprised?
See, do you see what I'm talking about? He is very nice. He's very professional. He's, instead of saying like, are you crazy? He just says, I'm surprised. Tell me more about that. I want to be more like that. I really do. It's just a beautiful way to be. Those who can read the shade will read the shade. Look, I'm a shade reader. I can read in between the lines, okay? And I live for it. And I like that. Those who can read the shade, and those who can't remain unoffended. It's the best of both worlds. But I love Ramit's demeanor with these people.
Because your goal is to make money, and network marketing, usually people do not succeed in.
There's people that have hit the $1 million club, like one of my mentors has done it.
Yes, your mentor has done it because your mentor was given recruits, was given sales, a lot of artificial sales, pressured a lot of people to buy a whole bunch of product that they don't need because we're in a competition and we need to be number one. Don't you want to help your upline? Whatever you do for your upline, your downlines will do for you. It's called duplication. Let me tell you, bruh, I know this. Oh, maybe I should become an MLM channel. I know to speak so well. I know the culture and to speak too well. It's actually kind of scary. So yes, her mentor did it. And it's artificial. I guarantee Your mentor did it and it was not organic the way you're trying to do it organic. Okay, let me break down some of the things that I said. You know who I feel like? You know who I kind of, if I do, I don't know. I feel like I might get burnt out if I do too much MLM content, but if I do, I want to be like that one dude. I really like, I don't know. Why do I watch Scientology videos? I don't know. I have never been a member of the Church of Scientology, but it's just so interesting to me. Okay, ever since Anonymous hacked into Scientology stuff, I am definitely showing my age by bringing up Anonymous. Ever since they did that, I have been like addicted to Scientology stuff. But there's this guy named Aaron, and he grew up in Scientology. That's his channel name, Growing Up in Scientology. And he just breaks it down. Like, he just finds all this stuff about Scientology. Like, a Scientologist took a crap on the middle of the street. What does that mean? And he like breaks it down. Like, oh, this is what it actually means. This is what it means to normal people, and this is what it actually means for Scientologists. That's how I want to be, but for MLM. But so a lot of these people, they get, the name of the game is recruiting, period. The name of the game is not selling hair product. The name of the game is recruiting people and recruiting a loyal following. That's the name of the game. And duplicating that. So they will push their people to do things that are not organic sales in order to hit a certain goal. So let's say her mentor was so close to hitting 1 million. Let's say she was at 800,000. Y'all, we need 200,000 to hit 1 million in 3 days. We need this in 3 days. Who's going to step up? Okay? They pit people against each other. So now there's infighting. The person at the top has all these people at the bottom, and the person at the top creates infighting. So they'll compete with each other. So if one team says, don't worry, we have at least 100,000, my team. Another team that you created a rivalry with will say, don't worry. They can do half. We can do all of it, coach. Okay, this is literally, this is how they do it. And in order to train people to have that same attitude, underneath, the person on top, the two people competing, and then they have their own little people, they call it duplication. To the newest person, aren't you excited for when you have a team who'll fight for you the way I'm fighting for my upline? If you want your team to do that for you, you have to do that for me. Your team will see you doing it for me. It's going to duplicate. And it does. This is literally how they build this culture in the MLM, and it starts to become cult-like. How do we know something's cult-like? Look at the effects on the people and you'll see. You'll see as we continue on the effects it's having.
Yeah.
So I just look at it and I'm like, okay.
I love him so much. So it's really interesting how she's, again, saying, oh, well, someone else did it. Yeah, but you haven't done it. Did the person right above?
And look, I'm not harping too much on that. She's going to harp on her for, well, you didn't make $1 million. Someone else made $1 million. I'm not going to harp so much on that. There's a lot of things that, you haven't done, right? Like, you've never had a baby before. That doesn't mean you can't go ahead and get pregnant if you want. You know what I mean? Like, that's not I'm not going to harp on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things I feel like are points you should care about. And there's certain things that I feel like, that's an interesting point, but I just don't care enough about it. But anyway, if you want to hear that point, you can go to her channel and hear that. And I personally, I don't care about that point. But let's get back into it.
Really good feelings.
And I'm like, okay, if she did it, I could do it. If she did it, I could do it. There's 10 ranks.
Right. That's another thing. If I can do it, you can do it. They tell their stories and they try to sound as relatable as possible. I remember the first time I started to realize that's a manipulation tactic, okay? I was at an event for an MLM, and all of the speakers were talking about how they didn't even graduate high school. They had to get their GED, and they used to do hard manual labor, and that they couldn't speak any English, and this and that, like whatever their story is. They came from this bad neighborhood, and now look at me. I make $500,000. I make $2 million a year. If I can do it, don't you think you can do it? You know, they do those kind of stories. And I remember thinking like, you know, I don't actually see myself, right? I'm in a certain position of privilege. I am highly educated, grew up middle class. For most of my, at least teenagehood, grew up middle class, highly educated. Parents were very supportive of my education and pushing me towards that, pushing me towards high paying positions and industries and things like that. So I consider that a privilege because those things put me in a different socioeconomic position than others, right? So as I'm hearing all these stories of rags to riches, I thought, how come the people who have degrees like I do, how come they don't let them speak? There's a reason they're not letting the people who sound too privileged speak, right? There's a reason those are not the ones speaking. And that's when I started realizing this is an interesting sales tactic going on here. But that's the point. They want you to feel like, you know, the raggier your story, the better. Their dream would be if somebody was like an immigrant that sailed across the ocean. They were living in a makeshift shed, and they had to make mud pies and eat mud pies, and then their family escaped and traveled across the ocean and snuck in over the border and had to clean, scrub places and work under the table so they got less pay, and then so and so abused them, and then they were put into foster. Like the worse the story, the sadder the beginning, the rougher the beginning, the better the story. Why? Because they call those excuse eliminators. They like to take people in difficult situations and prop them up so everyone else will feel like, well, dang, my life wasn't that bad. If they can do it, then I should do it for sure. A very popular one that they take, single mothers, right? Single mothers deserve the world. I love single mothers because y'all are super women. Y'all are super people, super humans, okay? But they like to do that. They like to take this single mom with 5 kids and she works 2 jobs and she hit double platinum. What's your excuse? Okay? They love to do that. So it makes you feel like not only can I do it too, because they did it, it would be an embarrassment to my ego if I didn't do it. It would make me look stupid if I don't do it. And I'm sure that's how this lady feels.
in the company, and I've reached as high as the 7th. And
this is another thing. They don't talk about their business the way actual business people talk about their business. She says she's reached a certain rank. Top 0.02% of the company. Nobody gives a nobody cares. When talking business, people care about what's your revenue, what's your expenses, what's your revenue, what's your profit margin. That's how real business people talk about their business, because they know that it's a universal language of assessing how well your business is doing. When you talk to MLMers, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the money. She didn't even want to talk to her husband about the money. All they want to talk about is their rank, that they reached triple chocolate, platinum, silver, diamond. They want to talk about positions and ranks that doesn't mean anything to anybody unless you're in the MLM. This is also a cult thing. It's a very cult-like thing where you have vernacular and rankings and terminology that people who are not on the inside, they're not going to understand. So if I ask you, how is your business doing? And you're a normal business owner, you can tell me, oh, things are going good. We were able to keep a 10% profit this year, and we think it's going to go up. That's normal. But what an MLM person will tell you is, I reached double, triple chocolate, platinum, silver, diamond, earthquake. And it's like the top of the company. And you're left like, what is double chocolate, triple diamond, earthquake, platinum? This is a way to keep you motivated, because the money will deflate you. The money, if these people were focused on the money, it would depress them and they wouldn't work anymore. So they use these rankings to keep them excited. And since it's only people in the company who know what these rankings are, you get gassed up. Outsiders don't know what that means. So outsiders can't say anything. Outsiders, they can't say, oh, that doesn't mean, like, outsiders can't say anything to you because they don't know what it means. But what we outsiders do know is, it's some bull-ish, because you can't talk about the actual numbers that matter.
when I got to that rank, I was like in the top 0.02% or something. I don't know how it happened.
How much money were you making at that time?
My highest was $12,000 in a month.
So this is also sad, that the 0.02% of the company is $12,000 a month. I'm not going to do the math right now, but that is not good. That means if you're in the top 0.03%, you're making less than $12,000 a month. So if you're in the top 1%, what are you making? What is that? Is that $5,000 a month? $3,000 a month? These are very low numbers. These are very low numbers for these are low numbers in business, I will say. These are low numbers to compare yourself to, mind you. If you are a business owner and you make $12,000 a month or $10,000 a month, or you make less than $12,000 a month from your business, that is an accomplishment you should be proud of. You shouldn't feel proud to say that represents the top 0.02% of your company. What that says to somebody who's thinking analytically is, there's no money in this thing that you're doing. There's no money in it. Top 0.02% should be like, I don't know, $100,000 a month or something, There's no, for the tippity top to be a low number, comparatively speaking, this is not a good investment of time and energy.
How many months did you make that for?
1, and then little.
That's another thing. Y'all, I'm pausing every second because there's something to say every second. MLMers will ride the high of one good lucky month. They will ride it for years. They will ride it for years. They will. And their mentor will say, You're the woman who reached double chocolate platinum silver earthquake. Remember? Remember when you did that? If you did it once, you can do it again. They will use that to re-hype you up.
By little, it just started going down. Then it was 8.
And now?
See, he's asking all the right questions. He's asking the questions that you should ask if someone tries to recruit you into something. Well, really work.
How much are you making?
Something is too good to be true, or just always ask questions in general, please.
How much are you making?
2,000 something.
An MLM stands for multi-level marketing. Let's think of it like a shape. Let's say a pyramid. At the top, you have this person who's been.
This is why I like Ramit Sethi. I'm sorry. I need to learn to be like him. I'm so serious. I need to learn to be like him. He shades the way he I admire the way he throws shade. And look, I never watched this show. I kind of want to now, but it's reminding me of back when I was first introduced to him. He's always been like this. He actually used to be let me tell you, he actually used to be really mean. This is so funny. He used to be really, really mean. This is Ramit Sethi after going through so many clients and learning a little bit more emotional intelligence. This is Ramit Sethi. He has learned how to throw shade in a more classy, gentleman way. Ramit Sethi used to be a beast, y'all. He used to go in on people.
Recruited to be an entrepreneur. And they recruit 5 people underneath them. Those 5 people recruit 5 people beneath them, and so on and so forth. You can see why this eventually fails, because eventually you'd have to recruit the entire planet to keep growing. This is a waste of time. Don't do it.
So let me explain to you why people in MLMs don't care about that. Because realistically, they don't see it. Right? They're not seeing, but to be fair, it is true. Like companies like, there's a reason why companies like Amway keep going into new countries. There's Amway in like how many countries now? In several different countries, right? They're literally trying to recruit the entire planet. Okay, but like, let's bring it back down. On the small scale, you don't see that, right? Like, even if you're in a city that's oversaturated, there's still people who are not yet recruited. And it just, I mean, mind you, I live in a big city, so I don't know what it's like if you're in like a more rural area. But the thing is, now there's the internet. So now that doesn't matter. You can recruit people online. So that's why that analogy doesn't, MLMers don't care about that analogy, because realistically speaking, they know it will never get to the point where they have to actually recruit the planet. There's always going to be people who, even if they were recruited in the past, you can steal them. You can take them from somebody else or whatever. Like, it's never going to get to the point that you feel like you actually need to recruit the entire world. Like, you know, but based on your company, you can calculate how many people do you need in your downline in order to make XYZ income. And so if you calculate that you only need 10,000 people, there's 5, how many is there 2 billion people in the world? 3 billion? You know, and out of that many billion, you only need 10,000. And so you might be thinking, okay, but what about your downline? Then they'll need 10,000, and then they'll need 10,000. But here's what happens realistically. Most people who join your MLM, They're not trying to do it for real. Most people who join your MLM are not trying to actually make a certain income. They're just joining for fun, out of feeling pressured, for, hoping that maybe they get a commission every now and then. They're not. So, do you see what I'm saying? Like, the MLMers, what they realistically experience is not to the scale of that example. That's why that example never works on them.
The way that you're approaching money reminds me of a slot machine. So, when you go to Vegas and you pull that slot machine, and 9 times out of 10, you lose money. And then 1 time you make money. And then what do you tell yourself? I did it.
Yeah.
So I want to understand a little bit more about where are you coming from before I start telling you, here's 6 things to do.
So smart. Because if you start telling them, hey, y'all are if you start telling them that they're wrong, they're going to blank out. They're going to get super defensive in their head. You're not going to listen to a word you say. So just keep asking them questions. Tell me more. Let them say it eventually, and you'll see later. I mean, we're already 45 minutes into this video, y'all. I guess we're going to stay up tonight. But you'll see that eventually they're going to say it out of their mouth, something that doesn't make sense, and they can't deny it. When it comes out of their mouth, they can't deny it. If you say it to them first, they'll deny it. So Ramit is very smart in this approach.
Good.
How's that sound?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm actually having an event. You should come.
You're having a network marketing event?
I am.
I would love to come.
I'm just thinking of the old Ramit. The old Ramit would be like, yeah, I need to effing see this S show. I have to bleep my words. Yeah, I need to see this beep show for myself in person. Heck yeah, I want to come. That's how the old Ramit would have said that.
I like Christian and Millie. They're in a pretty good financial situation, but they're making some weird knucklehead decisions. So I think I can help them.
One thing that I find
Okay, he did call them making knucklehead decisions.
interesting, I was talking with someone about this because they have more information about her. They said that her career rank, which is the one where it's like the highest one that you can get to, or the highest one that you've ever gotten to within the company, was MM, so Market Mentor, the Cadillac rank. And then she dropped down 4 ranks to AMB, Associate Market Builder, I think that one is.
They always have these crazy names. Market Meter, Associate Market Builder, and you don't know what none of it means.
As of February 2022, the average earning at that rank is $4,184 annually. Yet she's saying that she was making around $2,000 a month at that rank. And you can, but it's just interesting because it's like, that sounds like it's a fib then that you said that. So I'm thinking.
So she's saying the rank that this lady is at, the average income is $4,000 annual, baby. Let's break it down into months. $300 a month. Okay. And she's saying she makes $2,000 a month. No, it's possible. I've seen that. I've seen people be at, low, you're at a low rank, but you make a high income for that rank, that's possible. You're working hard. You're a hard worker. And it sucks because you're gonna burn out, and you will see that she's burnt out at the end. You're gonna burn out, and you're gonna feel like, I didn't even make money for it to be worth this burnout. Like, if I'm gonna be burnt out, can I at least have made like more money?
And other people think this as well, that she fell pretty quickly after she hit that rank, because again, it's nearly impossible to maintain like any rank within a multi-level marketing company unless you have a bunch of people under you. She says later on that she had about 500 people under her.
And this really sucks. Like, if you're gonna be in an MLM, at least choose one that doesn't, like, your rank. Choose one that once you hit a rank, you stay at that rank. That sucks. Like, that puts a constant fear in these people to overwork themselves because they can lose their rank at any moment.
And then that now she has like 150. If you have 150 at like that rank,
okay, so when she made 12 grand, she made 500. When she made 12 grand, she had 500 people in her downline. That's 500 under her. And now she has 150. So she's thinking she just needs to work harder. No. If you recruit 500 people, you should, yeah, that sounds about right. You should expect maybe 1 out of 5 to still care the next 1 to 3 months later. So what probably happened is she probably recruited a few people who they had a spark. Then they recruited all their friends and family and started a little chain reaction. And then she was able to keep a fifth of those, and she was not able to find new people to spark that again. It takes a lot of work and effort until you have, and the idea is you're supposed to hit these highs. Every time you hit a high, it should increase your baseline. So for baseline, maybe before that it was 100 people, and then she hit that high and now it's 150. Then she'll need to hit another high and increase that to 200, and just steadily try to increase your baseline. So that eventually you'll get to a point where you will consistently have 500 people like all the time. That 500 is your baseline. But a lot of these rookie MLMers, and I'm calling this lady is a rookie MLMer. I'm sorry, she's a rookie, because she doesn't understand this concept. A lot of these rookie MLMers, they don't know that. They don't understand that. They don't understand that you recruiting 500 people doesn't mean you really have 500 people. Because not everybody who joins the cult wants to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody joins Scientology and want to stay in it. Some people find out about Xenu and they peace out, dip out. You know what I mean?
like you're not going to be able to really maintain it, and then Carbo try to get 1,000,000% bonus.
I want to help him make a plan to retire his mom. With Millie, the easiest way for her to build an empire is to get a job that pays her well and respects her.
Basically, baby, leave this Monat alone and get a real job.
And with both of them, no more gimmicks, no more individual stock purchases, no more DraftKings, no more MLMs.
Okay, so he was gambling. Dang, nah. This is a bad financial situation. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. It's not good. Because their mindset when it comes to earning money is not stable. They don't value stability. This is not good.
Just simple, low-cost, long-term investing. If they do that, they'll be in great shape.
So I love that he even just said that, because that's something that I do believe in as well. Exactly. It really.
Mom, this is your first time at an event. Network marketing is basically a company. They sell a product and they kind of get rid of that middleman, like the store. It's just me using the products, genuinely talking about them, and when somebody wants to buy them and try them, I get a commission from it.
This was my biggest pet peeve whenever I was involved in any of these physical products based MLMs. They all say the same thing. When somebody asks me, I sell it to them. It's that easy. No, it's not that easy. You're leaving out a lot of stuff. You're leaving out all the meetings you have to go to, all the communications that you have to do, all the educating your people that you have to do. All of this is your time and effort and emotional labor as well. Because people want to quit. You have to talk them off the ledge. And it's not, so no, you're not just using the product and someone asks you, oh, what are you using? And it's like, oh, girl, buy Monat today. I have a discount. Oh, thank you. That's not what it is. you're also saying, and girl, wouldn't you like to also sell exactly how I'm selling? All you have to do is use the product and people will ask you. Is that what Rihanna did? She just used her own makeup and people just asked her and she became a billionaire? Is that all she did? I mean, she did do that, right? I mean, she used the product on national television during the Super Bowl. I mean, that's part of what she did, but she also has like a very active marketing team. Right? Is that what Kylie Jenner did? She just used the product and people asked her, "What do you use?" And she became almost a billionaire. That's part of what she did. But she also had a very active marketing team and had her product in stores with high visibility. Fenty has its own friggin' aisle in the Sephora that you can't miss. So my point is, it's not enough to just use the products. I remember I was in, what's it called? Advocare. I was in Advocare once. And I was asking this person, how are you making all these sales? And they said, first of all, it's a lie. If you ask somebody how they're making their money in MLM and they tell you that they just make a lot of sales, they're lying. They are withholding the truth. What's it called? Lying by omission. They're making a lot of sales by making their downlines buy extra product that they don't need. But this guy said you just drink it all the time. And this dude, he had Advocare t-shirt, Advocare pants, Advocare cup. Every day drinking that, what's that called? They got Spark, that energy drink every day. He's strategic too. When he goes into work, he makes sure everybody's in the little kitchen so they can see him open up his Spark and pour it in, shake it up in the Advocare bottle and drink it. And then he drinks the shake from it. And it's like, are you so serious? My whole wardrobe, like, I need to put Advocare on all my accessories, and I need to literally eat and drink Advocare, damn near breathe Advocare to make sales on top of... And this lady, and this is what they do. I mean, just do hashtag Monat in your Instagram and you will see it. So anyway, it's a little oversimplification when she says, all I do is if somebody wants to know what I use, I tell them. It's a little bit more than that.
How explaining is single level marketing. You shouldn't ever going up to have to like a flower. Are
the same thing.
They're marketing for free.
And then it's also bringing other people on with me that want to do the same thing. You build a team.
But nobody... It's very rare somebody wants to do the same thing, right? Like out of maybe 100 people that you sit down, depending on how good you are, depending on how, like if you're living that lifestyle, it might be like maybe 1 in 10 or 1 in 20. But if you're like this lady, you're just a regular person, it's going to be, if you're good at selling your life, maybe 1 in 50, a regular person 1 in 100 or 1 in 2, maybe even 1 in 200 if you just have a low social, you know what I mean? Like you're low on the social meter, right? Who actually want to do it, who like will actually say, hey, can I get started? Can I do exactly what you're doing? Right? So you will every now and then have somebody say, can I do what you're doing? I thought about it. I think I want to do it every now and then. But that's not enough to make your $12,000 a month. That's not enough to recruit 500 people that month. It's not enough. And the work you have to put in to even find that, because the person who it's the person who's doing this day in and day out that will talk to enough people that they will find somebody who says, hey, actually, can I do what you do? like the hardest working person will find that. The average person who joins is not, that's not going to happen for them.
Team and you sell the products.
She forgot to say you sell the products to the person joining and convince them why they need to buy more products. Convince them why they need to fill their garage with these products. Tell them, well, you need to have products on hand so you can use it in your daily life. And tell them, well, you need to have products on hand so you can give free samples, and give all these marketing reasons that they need to buy more, when actually that's the gag. The gag is recruit people, convince them that they need to buy more as marketing, and let that duplicate. That's the gag.
Hi, how are you?
And mind you, I'm not one of those people who bought like a garage full of stuff. That was never me. But I seen some bad situations.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, good to see you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do your thing.
Yeah,
I'm just here to watch.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Millie's smart. She's savvy. She could build something great for herself. But I'm totally skeptical of MLMs.
And so this is the other sad thing, because I see so many people who they're so good. There's this one girl I know. You ever look at someone's social media because you just want to see how they're doing, because you just have so much faith in them. And you're just like, man, if only they could see what I see in them. And you're just watching them because you're hoping one day they see themselves in the same beautiful glowing light that you see them. There's a girl I know who's like that. And I'm just like, girl, if you just got out of this thing and did your actual own thing, oh my God, you would be amazing.
Oh, guys, thank you guys for coming. Millie, 29, from Newark, New Jersey. We have 12 siblings in my family. My mom remarried, my dad remarried, and just coming from like a blended family, if you're familiar, you know that feeling of like, I don't know, just like never really fitting in and like feeling a little left out. So as like silly as it sounds, I feel like the business really changed my mindset, because I'd make vision boards and I'm like, I'm gonna qualify for the Cadillac, and I'm gonna quit my job, and I'm gonna qualify for the trips, and little by little it all started happening. I qualified for the trips. I qualified for the Cadillac that the company pays for. But anyway, a little bit about the business itself and what I do. It's basically just this. I use the...
So if you have a good mentor, if you have a good trainer, they're going to train you on this. They're going to train you on how to give your 2-minute talk of your own rags to riches story. And they're going to train you how to get it down pat, how to have a different one depending on your audience. Like, they train you to do it good. How would I rank her story? Nah. It doesn't sound like it sounds like she's seen it and done it enough that she can say something without talking. Well, it's edited, so who knows how long she actually spoke, but she knows it enough that she can say something, but it doesn't sound like she actually sat down and really crafted her 2-minute talk. Just a little constructive critique. It could be better. But also, never underestimate the power of just appearing like a normal person. You know, there's a reason they have these AIs who they'll call you as a telemarketer, but it's not a real human. It's an AI, whatever. And they're like, let me check that for you. It appears like they make the AI say, They make the AI say those sounds so you appear like a normal person. So she definitely sounded like a normal, regular girl, and that might definitely appeal to this audience.
Products, I talk about the ones that I love. That's it.
You know,
Yeah, she didn't. Her mentor needs to sit down and practice that with her. But you know, she said it. She did her little spiel, and I think, um, I don't know. I see a group of women, and you know they probably relate to her regardless. So that's fine.
So I'll give you some samples. I know you guys have some of you guys really haven't tried them, so I could give you some if you want to take some with you.
Okay, so tell me, what do you think about the overall network marketing business?
So it's not for everyone,
Yeah.
but money talks, right? So when I saw the
But that's the thing, y'all don't talk about the money, so you don't know what money is talking. In y'all's case, Ramit and I are doubtful that it's even $2,000 a month.
money amounts coming in, and she's reached the 7th rank, the company pays for the Cadillac.
See, she even got her husband talking about this rank, the 7th rank. It's the money that talks, not the rank. Okay? Oops.
Like, this is absurd.
She got a Cadillac for free.
But that's really how it is, right? Like, all you need is one good month and your spouse will get on board, right? Because you know, they fall for it too. Like, wow, you really did it. Can you do it again? You know?
Yep. So it's under her name, but
Okay.
they send her a check every month for the car as long as she maintains the rank, her name. So if she doesn't hit that rank, then she's responsible for the payment.
notice how he says, okay, so she got a Cadillac for free. And the husband then says, yes. So, and then
Right. So there's stipulations. And what's funny is he's saying it's free as long as she maintains the rank, but didn't she say several times that she has not maintained the rank? So it's actually not free. Actually. That's kind of bunk.
Name, they write her the check as long as she hits a certain number. What number does she need to hit?
I don't know. That I've never asked.
All right. Well, thanks for having me here. I have some more questions to ask, but very interesting comments. Excuse me.
So this Cadillac.
Oh my God. They give her the call.
Bruh, he said, excuse me one moment. And he had to go, he had to go to a separate room to be like, what the fuck?
But they saddle her with the 4-year lease that costs her tens of thousands of dollars. It's not a gift, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Well, wait.
Can I grab you whenever
Yes,
you get a chance?
of course. Yeah.
I have so many questions for you.
Tell me.
Okay, so how many of these did you use to do?
A lot. We got to a point like when business was really booming.
Yeah.
That we were doing at least one a week.
So the ones I've been to, they do like at least 2 times a week. When things are booming, you might do 3 or 4 a week.
Means
Me and my team.
what is the team? What is that?
So anyone that wants to do the business with me,
Yeah.
they'll join my team.
I hate that she keeps saying people who want to do the business. Almost nobody wants to do the business with you. You sold them on it. You sold them on it, or they're trying to support their friend or their family member. It's interesting because they never just say what it is. They always have to kind of do this verbal gymnastics, like verbal euphemisms, instead of just saying what it actually is. Me and my team, my downline, the people I recruited, like that's it. She's trying to make this euphemism of people who want to join my team, or people who want to do what I do. Because the thing with MLM is you are constantly trying to defend what you're doing. You're constantly trying to defend what it is that you're doing. So you've kind of learned to just automatically say the right thing, say the euphemism instead of what it actually is, because you're always in that defense mode. You're always trying to make what you do sound legitimate.
I see. And how many are on your team?
So there was almost 500 people on my team.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So when you made that 12K,
Notice how she keeps going back to when Ben's business was booming. That's not what I'm
Right. They always base their plan, and they always base their plan and their goals on something they did really long ago. Like, I could understand if you did that last month. Maybe if you did it 2 months ago, maybe it was within the same quarter, but baby, it has been like 7 months or more. It's time to, it's time to make goals set based on what's actually happening instead of reminiscing on past laurels.
asking. I'm asking about like the present. Like that.
Oops. Don't want to skip nothing they say, because it's getting juicy.
primarily come from? Was it from selling products, or was it from your team?
It was the team sales. The most
What she means is her team buying products. For these companies, when you join the team, you're buying products. Joining the team means you bought $500 or $1,000 worth of products. So the team sales means you recruited people who bought a lot of products and convinced people who are already on the team to buy more product. So your team can look good, you get recognition, and that's part of the thing. The hype. People do things for that hype, not because it makes financial sense.
I've ever sold was probably like a little over $2,000 myself in a month.
Yeah. Do you still have 500?
What that means to me, it doesn't mean to me that she had like individual customers who bought 2,000. What it means to me is maybe there's like a customer here and there, but she was able to personally recruit 4 people. She was able to personally recruit 4 people who paid $500. That's what that means to me. And I'm doing an estimate. I don't know how much you actually spend to join Monat, but that translates to me is, oh, she was able to personally recruit that many people. That's not really that good. I've met people who are able to personally recruit like way more. And it's not friends and family. Like, what's impressive is when you're personally recruiting and majority of that are not people that you knew. They're complete strangers. So that means you put into work to find people, build rapport and trust with them enough that they join the team and buy products. There's not like, I'm not trying to say this she sucks. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to give like a more of a frame of reference. So next time you hear people talk like this, you kind of have more like examples in your head of what that means.
100 people on your team?
No,
What is it now?
it's like 150.
Wait. So you went from 500 people making 12K, and then they slowly started.
And that's another thing. If you're not able to personally recruit, then your numbers will be low because you're constantly depending on the people underneath you. If you can personally recruit, if you can recruit wide, which means you personally recruit a lot of people, that's more people in your downline who can do more work. She doesn't, I'm not going to say she doesn't understand this, but she's not able to do that. So that does, hurt her business. It hurts her business.
Started dropping off down to now, which is.
150. Yeah.
I have another question. I've been thinking about this.
And she feels a lot of shame around that. She feels very ashamed of that, which that makes me feel sad. I feel like having 150 people follow you to do anything, having 150 people subscribe to you on YouTube, I think that's an accomplishment. It makes me sad when you put a lot of work and effort into this, and you have to do so much work and do such high numbers to get anywhere in this company, that she feels very ashamed of that number.
Understand it. The Cadillac. How old are you again?
29.
Would you buy a Cadillac on your own?
No.
So
Honestly.
how did it happen? Is it when you were at the peak?
Yeah. So it's an email, and they tell me, hey, you qualified. You can go choose a white Cadillac as long as it's less than 4 years old. And as long as you continue hitting your rank, we continue sending you a check for it.
And so what did you do?
I got the car.
Okay.
I was so in the moment because it was like such an accomplishment.
She already knows it was a mistake. She already knows it was a mistake. When he said, so what did you do? Did you feel that hesitation? And she said, I got the car. She raised her eyebrow a little bit. I don't know how to do that. Were you like the emoji, you know what I'm saying? I so admire people who can speak with their eyebrows. It's so cute. And she probably did not even know that she did that. I just think it's cute. Like, your eyebrows don't lie. I think it's so cute. But she immediately starts explaining herself. So she knows it's a bad decision. She already knows.
I've been saying I'm gonna do this, and I just did it.
And I know, listen, I get it. I'm an impulsive girl too. I'm impulsive AF, baby. When it comes to buying something that I've wanted for a long time, I feel you. I get it. I hope you can return a Cadillac. Can you return a Cadillac? I really hope so.
What's the monthly payment?
It's $660, and they pay me $500 for it.
She sounds scared in her voice because she already knows. She already knows. Like, even in her voice, she's like, she's like scared.
So theoretically, if you stay at this level, they'll pay off the rest of your Cadillac.
Yep.
So mind you, she is paying at least $160, and I think now she's paying the full $660 because she's not at that rank anymore.
If you drop more, you'll have to pay $660 a month. Can you afford it?
It's a little tight, but yeah.
Now, here's the reason why people like her don't get rid of the car. These MLMs want you to sell a lifestyle. They want you to sell your lifestyle. They want you to show how great your life is thanks to Monat. So when you have that Cadillac, you have this fancy car, and people ask, how did you get this fancy car? It's because of Monat. Join my team. It just makes you seem like you're successful, even if you aren't. And, company that I was a part of, they were really big on that. And they were having people who make $300,000 a year before taxes, and before expenses. These people are earning $250,000 to $500,000 a year. And with expenses, probably drop that to, they probably have $100,000 or more in expenses. And then you pay your taxes. So some of these people, their take home is, probably some of these people less than $100,000, their take home. And they're pressured by the company, by the leaders of the company, that you need to get a Lamborghini. You need to get a fancy car. You need to at least get a Range Rover. At least. How do you expect people to join your team if you're the vice president, you're a vice president of the company, and you're driving the same car as everyone else? No one's going to join your team. And you're making us as a company look bad. That a VP of the company is driving a Toyota? You're making our company look bad if you do not get your behind in a Range Rover in the very least. We can't do any more events with you. We can't do any more deals with you. We can't work with you. So you get pressured. And everything duplicates down. This is why the culture becomes cult-like, because everything duplicates. It duplicates down to even women like this lady. She feels pressure that she must keep this Cadillac. She's hoping that she will make enough money to pay for it. And also it's a status symbol. And it makes her feel like she's up there with the other top. Those people who stay in the top 0.02%, I'm up there with them. It gives you recognition. A lot of these people on the lower levels, what they lack in income, they must make up for in recognition and status within the company. And this is her way of getting that.
MLMs.
It's a little tight, but yeah, which means no. She claims that she's making like 2,000-ish a month now with money. So it's like, how are you affording that then?
Are specifically targeted at vulnerable parts of society. They go after stay-at-home moms who want to make an income on the side. They make huge promises of all the money you can make passively working from home. But what they fail to tell you is that 99+% of people will not make money.
Hi, how are you?
And the thing is, why do people still join? Because most people join not really expecting to make money, but it just felt good in the moment. It's like an impulse buy. Like you're at the store, you see a Kit Kat bar. Oh, why not? Okay. Some people, they're just kind of bored, you know. Yeah, I might not make money, but what if I do? You know, and then there's some people who feel like, well, I'm going to be that 1% who do make money. That's going to be me. I'm actually going to make money because I actually am going to take this seriously. And I was like that. That's why I understand this so well, because I don't know, maybe it's the neurodivergent bit of me, but whenever I want to succeed in something, I try to look at every nook and cranny of it and catch every nuance. I talk to as many different types of people as I can so I can see different nuances and things that maybe I missed and break it down in an analytical kind of categorized fashion in my mind. And after doing that, I realized this is actually, after doing that, I realized that there's a lot of manipulation and lies that are told to you. And once you get into the circle where they tell you the truth, they start telling you the reality of this game. That's when I used to say, look, MLMs work for some people. There are people that it works for. And I guess I still kind of say that because I recognize and understand that some people are just doing this MLM because they need friends. They need a community. There are different reasons why people will join the MLM, and they don't actually care about making money, and they don't actually care that they're wasting money or spending money. And, you know, as long as you're not hurting your family, you know, as long as you're not putting your family in dire financial situations, if you like it, I love it for you. But there are people who are putting their families in really bad situations because they're being sold a dream that is not real because there are lies and misinformation being given to them on the front end, unfortunately. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, so let's just continue.
Nice to see you
Thanks for
again.
having me over again.
When you tell someone in an MLM that it might not be the best decision, sometimes they get defensive.
So for someone like her, it's very clear that she actually does. There's two things about her. She does when she takes it serious. She wants to take this seriously. She does. So already, if you're somebody who you do want to take the MLM seriously, automatically I will tell you, don't. She's the kind of person who needs to sit down and have this talk, because there's people who they don't take it seriously, so whatever. But there's people like her, she's taking it seriously. And two, and this is the most dangerous aspect of it, she has made it a part of her identity. It has become so much of her identity that she is unable to make rational decisions. Example, she still has the Cadillac even though she hasn't gotten back to that rank in 7 months. And they're about to buy a property for $200,000 down payment. Do you see what I'm saying? This is the kind of person that I guess I want to make this kind of video for. This is the kind of person who, if you knew the truth of what actually was going on in your company, you would realize that your good faith efforts are not enough. Or, this is what I would tell her. Are you willing to work as hard as you are and harder? Because you have to have times where you go really hard. Are you willing to do that for the next 10 years? And make the income you're making? Normal businesses, the question is, are you willing to do this for 3 years, seeing some growth each year? That's for a normal business, right? For an MLM, are you willing to do it for 10? An MLM will tell you, are you willing to do it for 3? Because they always use statistics that work for normal, regular businesses. For an MLM, it's more. You don't have control of the company. You don't have control of how things work. The business model is unique. There's so many reasons. There's games being played that you are not aware of. There's so many reasons why, but I would ask her, are you willing to do what you're doing now, make only $2,000 a month from it for the next 10 years? Is it worth it? And the reason why I would ask this question is because I have met people who they told me yes. I have met people who literally have done it for 10 years and still going. And there's nothing you can do for those people. That's their decision. But someone in her stage, she might be able to think, do I want to do this for 10 years? And because I've met people who, when I ask them that question, are you willing to be in this situation for 10 years? Because that's how long it will take for you to see any consistent traction, unless you somehow are able to make a deal with the big dogs in this company. So are you willing? 10 years, no change, but working harder. And I've met, I've had people who said, actually, hell no, and I'm quitting tomorrow. So, let's see.
Can I be open with you about
100%.
Okay. I loved your presentation style, but as I started to think about it, I got nervous. Because there were a lot of things that were red flags for me. I saw the membership recruiting, which made me really nervous. Those people tend to leave really quickly. So then I asked you, like, what's up with those 500 people? And then you told me most of them had left. Then you told me about the Cadillac. What if you don't keep your rank? It's your lease, so you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Has that happened before?
It has.
Wait, how many
This is something that, hold on. How many times has it happened?
times?
Like 8.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
hold on.
This is worse than I thought. She's been paying $660 for 8 months. She's put $5,280 into that Cadillac, and she makes $4,000 a month. $2,000 a month. And the thing is, so with the recruiting, I could see her mind was getting defensive. It was starting to get defensive, and then he said they left, right? And she's like, well, yeah, they did leave. And I'll tell you, for a seasoned MLMer, that's not going to faze them, because an MLMer who is well-trained knows that people will leave, and they consider that part of the business. But this Cadillac is an issue for her. It's an issue for her. She's nervous laughing every time she talks about it. She does not want this Cadillac. This Cadillac is a hot spot for her, and she is seeking permission to let it go. Something in her told her, you can't let it go. You work so hard for this. But she secretly wants to be told let it go.
Do you know what the success rate for people in multi-level marketing is?
So like 8 times. Then it has to be waste of money. Normally it's the most that gets you, but it's not there. And just the scams.
Probably like 3%.
Maybe even less than 1%. MLMs are a trap.
There's a subtle difference between a pyramid scheme and
I like how he first showed her how it's already trapped her. And now he's saying it's a trap.
and network marketing. Pyramid schemes are based on recruiting other people alone. Network marketing has tangible products. Pyramid schemes are illegal. Network marketing is not. And the distinction is as thin as a razor's edge.
Literally, you can make an MLM tomorrow and your product is used juice boxes. You're literally a Ponzi scheme, but you legally get to say you have a product because you have a used juice box. Look, this lady says that the Monat products are good. Sure. But what she can't deny is you make your money through recruiting. There are some network marketing companies that they think they can argue otherwise, but with these types that have a physical product, your money's through recruiting. I don't care. You can say you sell one-off products all day. Nothing compares to the money you make when you recruit. And when you look at how the top people are making their money, I promise you, every single one of them, the bulk of the sales are through recruits and not regular customers.
You did 12K in a month. I don't want to take away from that. It's very impressive. But if you had never succeeded and we were sitting here having this conversation, you'd be like, yeah, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. But you did succeed 1 month and you post about it on social media and it's become part of your identity. So,
dude, Ramit is seeing this is exactly what I'm saying. Ramit, I am very familiar with MLMs and the psychology of it. He doesn't even need to have been through what I've been through to see what I'm seeing. That, girl, that's how you know you're really in deep. He's seeing it.
So to take all that away, it's not just closing down a little business. What is it really?
It like hurts my ego a little bit. I'm a little bit like embarrassed about it too, because that, like you said, I talk about it and I like, not to take away from it.
So a lot of people, when they have a good month, they keep talking about it because they are embarrassed. They're insecure. They're insecure that they haven't done it again. And there's other people surpassing them, especially if it's a competitive culture. So they just keep holding on to that.
Did do that, but I also went backwards.
And how long has the business been going down for?
So he's going to continue to ask questions and ask her further, how long has the business been declining for? And she's going to say, about a year. Per her, this was filmed last year. And that's kind of like the timeline, I guess, with like how that really works in the, filming process and then, edits and then getting everything like approved by the streamer and then, everything being released. So it's been going down for like a year. And we're actually going to get an update from her in a minute. So like another year, it's been going downhill again, even further, just declining, not going up, not maintaining, declining. She has really clung to this 12K in a month. I've made 5 figures in a month. Okay, but what are you making right now? What was your check?
What were you making a year ago? What were you making 6 months ago? You don't even have to ask her what you're making now, which is the lowest number. You can ask her what did you make after that month? Well, yeah. It's bad.
Yesterday. What was your check this week?
I did do that, but I also went backwards.
And how long has the business been going down for?
About a year.
How does that feel? A year?
I definitely think I'm just not putting enough effort.
That's why they have you read all the self-help books so that you'll say that. So you will never say, maybe this is not a good business model. So you'll always say, I'm just not working hard enough. If you were able to, well, first of all, her 12K month involved luck. Let's be generous. Let's say if she worked that hard all year round, let's say she make half of that. Six grand a month? I don't even know. Apparently that's really hard too. But let's say she did that. But the thing is, no one can bust their egg, because here's the thing about MLM. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not working 10-hour days. It's not working 12-hour days. You're on the clock 24. You go to sleep. You ended, the last thing you saw for the day was for your company. The first thing you see for the day is for your company. It's a lot of work. You're wearing a lot of hats. This is not like a startup where it's like, okay, you're the finance guy and you're the coder and you're the accountant. And no, you're doing everything. You're doing all your finances, you're training your people. Even if you say, no, I don't train my people, I outsource the training. Okay, you still have to talk to your people to give them the DVD, whatever training that you're giving them, and you still have to work with them to make sure they understood it, and you still have to talk to them to make sure they're doing the training. Like, it's a lot of work. You're wearing a lot of hats. You're doing sales. You're not only are you selling to strangers, you're also selling to people who've already joined because you're trying to get them to not quit, or you're trying to get them to make some kind of money for you before they quit. It is exhausting. It's exhausting. Some of these people do las drogas to cope. It's just not, that's not realistic. What you're really doing is you're playing the luck game. You're hoping that you find, before you burn out, you're hoping you find someone who will work as hard as you do. Oh, I'm itching. You're hoping that you find someone who will work as hard as you do so that you can take a little break and recoup and get back at it. But that's luck. Like, you will, out of 1,000 people, you'll find maybe one who will work as hard as you. Out of 1,000 people. And this lady is not recruiting enough to find that 1 in 1,000 before she burns out. Because the truth is, to find that person, because even if you find that 1 in 1,000, they have to be in proximity to somebody who's working their A off. So if you find that 1 in 1,000 during a time that you're not really working, you risk losing them. you risk them not achieving their full potential. Right? And to find somebody who will work harder than you, that's like 1 in 10,000. Or maybe 1 in 5,000, 1 in 10,000. So it's not realistic. When you actually have a good understanding of how this business works, realistically, not just what your mentor is selling you, but when you analyze it. I'm telling you, as somebody who like literally sat down and analyzed different people's businesses and hierarchies over the inception of when they started. Like, when I tell you that I have ran the numbers and I worked with somebody who ran the numbers. I was working with somebody who had access to all the numbers. And I'm like, every time, like when I say these little 1 in 1,000, 1 in 5,000, like every time we check it against real numbers of people in the company, it checks out. It's hard. And I know there's somebody who's deeply into MLMs who'll say, well, nothing in life is easy. Yeah, but it doesn't need to be this hard.
So you believe if you worked harder, then you would get those results. Mm-hmm. Take a look at me. If I work harder, I can be in the NFL. Tell the truth. It's okay. You're not gonna hurt my. What? How could you say that? How could you crush my dreams? You don't think if I train for another year that I could make it to the NFL?
Probably not.
Probably not. And if you try harder, will you succeed where 99+% of people fail?
I don't know. You never know.
And she's saying that because she doesn't know the truth. She doesn't know that people in her company, in Monat, they do deals, they do things that people like her cannot do to achieve their results. She doesn't know the truth. That's why she's saying you never know. Because she doesn't know the actual truth. She's thinking I can be in that 1%, but she's thinking as a meritocracy person. It's like somebody who applies to college and they think the only factor that will get them in or keep them out of college is their grades. They think that it's merit-based when it's not. If something like college acceptance is not fully merit-based, I'm referring to people who get in because their families made large donations or they have the network or they know somebody, you know. Please trust me, people get into colleges because they know somebody. They do. It's not merit-based. For all of you plebeians, it is. But for the 1%, it's not. But there are people who still believe that it's merit-based for 100% of the applicants. So they still believe if I worked harder, I would have gotten in. I could have been in that top percent, and they don't know that that top percent is made up of people who that you're actually on paper better than. She doesn't know the truth. She just doesn't know. She hasn't seen it. She's not at a high enough rank to be around the people who can show her the truth. And the funny thing is, once you get to that high enough rank and you see the truth, they expect that you have put in so much time and effort and you've built something of a little bit of substance that you are not willing to leave after seeing the truth. It's just like Scientology. By the time you get to the place where you learn about Xenu and the aliens, you have put in so much time, money, effort, built relationships. You have done so much that you are not willing to leave just because you heard about some little aliens. You're not willing to leave at that point. I was. Child. Ugh. But most people, a lot of, well, I'm not going to say most, a lot of people do quit at high levels, but, you know, she doesn't know the truth yet.
Okay, let me ask it a different way. Do you think your best use of time and energy is to focus it on this MLM? Or do you think maybe there's another possibility that might get you to your goals faster?
I hear you. Yeah.
That's a really good question to ask them, because even if, you know, since she doesn't know the truth, she's never going to count herself out and say, you know, well, I could be one of the 1%. She's never going to, you know, discount herself. But that question, don't you think there's something that will help you reach your goal faster? That's a very good question. That's a question that I ask people. And some of them have to sit and chew on it when they say, yeah, I think there is something that'll help me faster. And they really have to sit and chew on it because it's still hard to let go of that identity. But there are people who are like, even if there was, I don't want it. And nothing you can do for them. But you can see her wheels are turning.
I do agree with that.
So then she goes on to saying and admitting in like a little talking head about how everyone doubted the network marketing stuff and how her family and friends didn't want her to do it and her own husband didn't want her to do it, but she did it anyways. And it's just really interesting for her to, you know, agree with him when it has to do with him, you know, trying to succeed at something that less than 1% of people can succeed at. But then when it's flipped on her, she's like, well, you never know. I just need to work harder. No, that's not. You just agreed with the like fallacy of that. What are you talking about? And that's what they say a lot of times. Like, oh, well, people who don't succeed in it just didn't work hard enough. No, that's not how that works.
And that really annoys me when they say that, because I'm like, like, especially if I personally know the person. And I just, when they say that, oh, people who didn't succeed, they just didn't work hard. And I just think, didn't so-and-so loan you $20,000? Didn't so-and-so loan you $20,000? So you can look like you got a lot of sales? Like, when you know the truth, it makes it all look like such BS.
And they can use all day long, they can say people in the NFL, they can use other types of examples, is they'll say, oh, well, you know, most people won't become like famous YouTubers or, you know, even get to 100,000 subscribers or, you know, do it full time. Does that mean that you shouldn't start? It's like, well, no, but that's also completely different. I'm not trying to recruit other people to do it. I don't care.
Well, the other thing about YouTube is it's not a cult. There's a formula to success. You can study how to be successful on YouTube. And yes, there are people who have a leg up. They know someone who works at YouTube who can alter the algorithm for them. You can do if you're good with it, you can do the same thing. As you network in YouTube, you start to learn the truth. The truth is there. You don't have to jump through all these hoops and rise ranks and keep being lied to along the way to learn the truth of what it takes to succeed in YouTube.
Care if you do it. Do what you want to do. I also would never suggest for anyone to do this full time until you are making...
That's also the crazy thing, that this woman was doing it full time, which is a huge mistake.
Quadruple the amount that you like are from your full-time job. Also, just don't quit your full-time job. Try to do this on the side. I did it on the side for 4 years. Most YouTubers will tell you, no, don't do this. I love it, but it sucks. And most people are realistic about it when it comes to the finance. Well, some people just ignore it and keep going because of, as he is going to explain, because of the sunk cost fallacy, where you've put so much, not only money into something, but you've put time into it. You've embarrassed yourself on social media. You've made it your entire personality. So you're at risk of just throwing all that away and losing all that money, all that time, those friendships. How are you going to start over? It's going to be...
And she probably lost friendships because of it. I mean, you feel like you're losing so much, right? All those friendships that you lost. I knew this one lady, she was really good at recruiting. And her last straw was actually an emotional event. I'm not going to tell her business, but what I will say is when I was talking to her about it, she told me that it's not worth, she didn't fall for this sunk loss thing. She told me that she lost a lot of friendships. I was like, what are you talking about? Because I just saw her as this charismatic personality. How can anybody not want to be her friend? She said, no, I lost friendships. I was like, how? She said, I was pushing people to sign up. And I was like, well, you're not supposed to push them. And she's like, well, even... She said she just felt so pressured to recruit. And even when she wasn't really pushing someone to join, she feels like she put them in a bad situation. So this girl probably went through a similar thing, because she's saying her family and all these people said, you know, don't do it. I mean, it is going to be embarrassing. And she is going to feel like she lost a lot.
Embarrassing because people are going to know you failed. It's silly because it's like, well, no, when you switch jobs, do people think you failed? No, you just got a new job. Who cares?
Well, the difference is you usually don't brag to people about your job. You usually don't try to hustle people to join you at your job. But it's embarrassing because her identity is in this. She was actively trying to boost this company. You know, it's like when somebody, it's like FTX. If you know about the FTX scandal, or if you know about Theranos, right? If you were a Theranos investor and you were like, Theranos is the future, it's awesome, and then everyone finds out it's a scam. Don't you feel silly? Don't you feel embarrassed. You do, because you really put your foot in it.
But it's a little different with MLMs because you're encouraged to make it your entire personality and put everything out there, and it is embarrassing. It's also a reason, like another reason why they do that is so that you don't leave, so you feel stuck, and it's like the psychological aspect.
And it kind of isolates you from your old support network and makes the MLM your new support network. So they're the ones that you trust. So you feel like you can't leave because they're now your new support system.
Like behind all of it.
What's the difference between a job and a career?
A job is probably just something that, you know, you go to every day, no big deal, it makes you some money. And maybe a career is something that maybe you went to school for it, you love it, you know, maybe.
And what do you have today?
A job.
If you want to build an empire, that takes changing the way you think about your income. I have some homework for you. I want you to spend some time on the psychology of money. You have some money beliefs you don't even realize are money beliefs. Like today you told me, I got to work harder. The belief you have is that it needs to be hard in order for me to make money.
That's what I believe too. I was so in all the self-help and the hustle culture that I truly believed it has to be hard. I used to listen to this guy, E.T., the hip-hop preacher, and he, you know, back then he had this viral video about you have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And that's how I viewed making money. I thought it has to be painful. It not only does it have to be hard, it has to literally be painful. And after going through a lot of pain, I share my journey on this YouTube channel. I had really severe anxiety, severe depression, all that. I decided I don't want pain anymore. Something has, because I saw another side. I saw people who were making more money than me with significantly less stress. That's all I needed to see. Then I knew it's possible. The paradigm I was operating under is not the only perspective and way for me to achieve my goal. And I completely changed careers.
And that's not true. And I want you to create your conscious spending plan. A lot of things are going to become very clear to you. Okay? I don't need to tell you. You're smart enough. You're going to see it right there on paper.
Okay.
Okay? Send it to me.
I will.
I know Millie feels she's put so much time into this MLM that she doesn't want to give up now. But that's what's called the sunk cost fallacy.
Okay, so we're done with the Netflix show aspect of this. Over her, I've been with a girl that actually no.
So she's gonna come back on screen
I'm not
again.
surprised because when someone's on a Netflix show that's doing really well, which this one has done pretty well, when you're on a Netflix show, a streamer show, whatever, usually like the goal, let's be honest, these days is to utilize that and really, take advantage of it and grow your social media. It does not look like that's worked out for her, but also why would you want to follow her other than like just checking in and like seeing like, oh, she's still in the pyramid scheme. I don't think she realizes that like that hinders her. It's just very interesting. Okay, so I went over to her Instagram and looked at the Rich Life Instagram story highlight that she has on there. And I was like, let's just see. So you go through it and it's like all of the reposts basically. It's like, okay, we get it. You were on a Netflix show. It is also a little bit different when you're in a show that's separated out like this, where like you really are only in one episode and it's not like continuous and it's not really focused on your personality, because it wasn't focused on her personality because Monat is her personality, it seems like. So anyways, let's go ahead and get to her update.
The $1 million question, aside from all the money questions I've been getting, my next most asked question is if I still use money. And yes, I still use money. I still do money. If you're my VIP, you know, because I still have customers that buy. And every time I post my hair, you guys ask me if I still use it. Yes, I never stopped.
So she, it's a way to save face because she's still associated with the company. She's just kind of taking a break. She's saying that she uses the product. She's not saying that she's still like trying to build a team. You know, she has fantastic hair. She's showing off her hair. So who knows? Maybe she gets a little commission here and there.
I know that I slowed down with it myself for personal reasons. Not going to get into that. But I know for a fact that if I would have kept at my pace, I'd be much higher.
But you can't. Don't you think you would have? If you could at that time, don't you think you would have? You experienced 12K a month. Don't you think you would have continued feeling that high? There's something in your life or with you that you could not maintain it. And here's the thing, it's not normal to maintain it. You don't have a big enough downline that you can maintain that. Whatever you did, whatever ass breaking work that you did, that you got that, you cannot maintain that week after week, month after month, day in, day out. That is natural. That is natural. Yeah, that's not realistic. Saying if you had maintained it, it's not realistic for you. It's okay to do something that is realistic for you. Your life will be so much better when you have self-awareness to know that's something that isn't in my favor. This is something that works better for me.
I'd be much more successful in it. I just slow down with it. But
it's sad to hear that she's blaming herself still, just like she did in the show, just like she did a year ago. She's saying, I slowed down. I know that if I would have worked harder, I would be more successful with it. That's not how it works. No, like that's not it. So girl, it's not you. Millie. I love that name and that's so cute. Millie, it is not you. It is the structure of the company. I would assume that Monat saw it and was like, okay, we need to like make it right and like pay them more for the car bonus.
Slow down with it, but I genuinely believe in the product.
That doesn't look like a Cadillac to me. Is that a Cadillac in there? I don't know. It kind of does not look like a Cadillac. Does she still have the Cadillac? I really hope she got rid of it.
Products, I genuinely believe in the business, so I will not be terminating. And yeah.
I genuinely believe in the products and I genuinely believe in the business.
The other thing is she probably doesn't want to let her mentor down. If she terminates, it will hurt her upline. She probably has a relationship with her upline that she doesn't want to let that go. So if she continues to buy products and makes commission every now and then, at least she's helping her upline because she still believes in the business, right? So she still at least wants her upline to succeed. That's another part of it. That's why there's so many people who, you know, they're in an MLM and you're like, are you actually trying to do this? And they're not. They just want to support somebody else they believe in, somebody else that they think can do it and be a part of their story. The thing is, at any given moment, that mentor can call her up and say, don't you want to retire your parents? Don't you think you've been sitting on the bench long enough? Whatever you're doing now, it surely isn't working, is it? Don't you think you've given it enough time? Don't you want to try this business again? Let's work together. It just takes one phone call to reinvigorate somebody like her. And people at the top of these things, they rely on recruits like her.
Baby, this ain't about belief. This is about, does it work? Clearly it doesn't. You would saw that episode and they've been promoting the shit out of it. If someone saw that episode and was like, oh, I want to join Monat, then I'm sorry, but you deserve to get scammed. No one deserves to get scammed. But like, what? I cannot imagine that her upline is happy with her. I cannot imagine that her mentors, you know, the people at the top that she's under, are happy with her, that her teammates are happy with her, because this makes Monat look really bad. No, they never said Monat, but it's...
They probably make fun of her, if not to her face. They make fun of her in group chats. I guarantee. How much you want to bet? Yeah, they probably make fun of her in group chats.
Clear which one she's in because it showed it on the products. And then I really want to know what like the repercussions were, consequences were once Monat saw it, because that does go against their policy and procedures. Maybe because she didn't say the name of it, but you have to sign an appearance release when you do these types of things. So when you sign on to something, typically what happens, and I've been involved in three total, 2 that haven't like gotten off the ground or like made it very far, and then 1 that we're just waiting for it to be greenlit, which that can take so long. That itself can take like 2 years, and it's about Monat. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully. I mean,
she's part of documentaries.
So you go through everything. They go through interviews. They figure out who they want to have on the show. Once they do that, you sign basically a non-compete, a confidentiality agreement,
Okay.
you know, and in the scenes things that like they don't want you to talk about, then you won't. And then also there's...
Okay, so that's about it. So, very interesting. I have been talking for 2 hours. I'm very hungry. This is why I'm gaining weight, because I keep doing my workouts in the night and then I get hungry in the night. But actually, y'all, I have a stalker that like literally transcribes my videos. So if I say something, they like, even if I'm being sarcastic or joking, they're like, but you said this. Were you lying? No, I'm not actually gaining weight, okay? I don't like that I always get hungry in the nighttime, because if I was a regular person, I could just go to bed right now. But I am not going to fall asleep until I eat something, which means I'm not sleeping. But anyway, I hope this enlightened you. The audio is not good. So this will be a little 2-hour experiment. I'm the kind of person, I love listening to long videos like this as I fall asleep. So, I hope this audio was good enough for that. We'll see. My mic stopped working. I bought a Heyday mic from Target, and it stopped working after about a year. So I need to get a new one. And I'm just too tired to talk, y'all. Good night. Thanks for watching and vibing. Leave a comment. Feel free to leave multiple comments. If you leaving comments as you're listening, I do the same thing. We vibing over here. Good night. Until next time, much love, much luck.